Okay guys, this will be what if Deku could activate Ultra Instinct Part 2. Still don't know if I should continue what if Deku switched personalities with Bakugo, because it's not popular anymore. I'm still wondering because no one actually told me in my last video. I know this video is pretty short term. I didn't mean like that. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, whatever. But today is my birthday. Yeah, probably the next day if I upload this. It might not. I have no idea. But if it's uploaded on June 19th, that is my birthday. Got a new microphone for my birthday. That's why I have decent audio now. So yeah, bye. I meant cutie the intro. Why do I keep on? I'm actually dumb. Okay, so last time we left off, we had Deku finishing off the Nomu with All Might and all the villains retreat. Okay, so now it's the whatever it's called again. UA festival thing. So the race thing just happens as normal because he's obviously not going to activate Ultra Instinct during the race thing. So he gets first in that, he gets 10 million placed on his head. Then it's the horse riding thing. The team is the same. And basically the same thing happens until the time that Deku and his team gets trapped in that little wall thing with ice. And then it goes to the point where Tenya, or Lita, or whatever you want to call him, uses Raspido Burst. He dashes forward. But since you know how Goku, every time he uses Ultra Instinct, it sticks with him a little bit, that happens with Deku. So he dodges it. And when Todoroki looks down, one of his, whatever it's called again, bandanas or whatever, is gone. And he looks over, and Deku has it. He's like, He's like, huh? He doesn't know what just happened. But it happened. And he's looking at his hand. He's like, what the heck just happened? He's like, okay, whatever. He ties it around his neck. And Todoroki blinks, and Deku is gone. They look up, and they see that they just floated away. He's like, oh no. As soon as Deku lands on the ground, Bakugo charges forward. He's like, give me whatever you have. And they're flying, Bakugo just goes flying off of his thing. His, horse people. He's like, Deku, give it to me. And Deku just dodges it easily. He didn't steal anything from him. Bakugo goes flying out of bounds. He doesn't even know. Everyone agreed that, okay, whatever, we're gonna lose, and we could still get in even if we get disqualified because plot. Are you kidding me? There's sirens. That's really annoying. Why? Why must this happen? I don't understand. Okay, guys, just ignore that. So, now it's the first match. The first match is, also, before I go any further, just have to say, it's my birthday. Actually, I already said that. I'm being dumb. Okay, never mind. I have a bad memory. I don't know if you know that, but now you do. I'm not doing that ever again. So the first match is obviously going to be Deku versus Shinso. And since Deku is stronger, he's able to control this one for all. So, when he, gets mind controlled and all that stuff, he, was about to walk out, and he uses one for all on his fingers, and he obviously gets out. He still saw those figures in, the corridor or whatever. All the other battles, basically do the same. Then, it's the next battle. It is Deku versus Todoroki. Okay, so Todoroki shoots a giant wave of ice. Deku just flicks it away, but he doesn't damage his finger as much. But he's like, one for all, flick. It blocks it away. And that happens a couple of times because Todoroki is doing that thing. But it's a little stronger, so he's barely able to survive. He is getting a little bit damaged. But when Deku uses both of his fingers, he's like, now's my chance. He dashes forward. He's like, use your fire. Todoroki's like, what? As he shoots more ice at him. Deku dodges them as he just continues to dodge. He jumps up and is able to control his one-for-all punch. He goes forward. He's controlling it. He hits Todoroki in the stomach. But only hits him a little bit, so he goes off his ice. He goes flying. He goes into the ground. He gets up. He's like, no. He's like, okay, why do you not want to do this? And he tells all this, backstory, like he did before already. Okay, so Deku is continually... So, Deku flies up and hits. He's able to control his one for all punch. He punches with his punch and is able to do a decent amount of damage. But I don't know why I'm saying this again. I just am. So he goes flying into the ground. So Todoroki's like, oh no, you're gonna die. So he starts like comboing him with ice, like boom, 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 because I got amazing sound effects. You don't even know. I'm gonna beat you. Okay, I'm not gonna rap that. I don't feel like getting copyrighted by Eminem. I mean, like Eminem, we're bros. You don't need to do this. I'm just a little kid. You don't need to. Please don't. I'm a kid. Let's keep this a secret, just man to man. Yeah, just pretend like I never said that, please. And he gets smashed into the ground by another ice thing. As he looks up at Todoroki is like about to hit him out of the ring because he's in midair. When Deku suddenly gets a blue aura and his eyes turns over, he uses the momentum of the ice to pull himself forward. He goes right into Todoroki's face. Todoroki doesn't know what just happened. Todoroki moves away. He dashes it back. And Deku just stands there with the blue aura. Todoroki's like, what are you doing? As he shoots more ice at Deku. Deku just like easily dodges them. By the way, this is incomplete, not like mastered. But Deku just dodges it with ease. Todoroki's like, what is this? I thought his quirk was like be able to make him stronger. When all of a sudden, green lightning starts sparking around Deku. And by the way, this full cowling is 20% because Ultra Instinct obviously makes you stronger. So if this is 20%, and this is basically 1% for Deku right now, but he's not really conscious right now. He's like in a state, he doesn't know what's going on. He's unconscious, he doesn't know what's going on. But he can hear everything. Just like when you're like in a coma or something. Deku starts walking forward. Todoroki's like, get away from me. As he shoots more ice. And his left is getting more like frosted and all that stuff. Deku's like, just use your fire. It's your power. Not Endeavor's, not anyone else's. It's your quirk. And then all that stuff happens. And then it's like, okay, fine. He uses fire. He's like, how dare you? Thank you, Deku. As all the fire comes around Todoroki, he's like, thank you. As a fire thing flies towards Deku. As it incinerates half of the whole entire arena. And then he feels a tap on his shoulder, and he looks at Deku. Deku's behind him with silver eyes. And he's like, you did it. And all that Todoroki feels is unconsciousness. He falls to the ground because Deku hits him in the shoulder in a pressure point right there. And he catches Todoroki. I'm going to call him Todoroki. He catches Todoroki right before he falls on the ground. And he just drops him out of the ring as he falls down unconscious. The heat around him, no one knows what it is, but it still happens. All Might is like, it's that power again. I don't know what it is, but it's really incredibly strong. And the full cowling goes away. And all the other fights happen just like they did. And then, since it's Deku versus the tape person. But this time, Deku's like, okay, I don't know what that power was. And then he just like, tapeworm shoots, I'm going to call him tapeworm. He shoots tape out of his arm. Deku dodges it, because he's able to dodge it even better. He gets one fall on his finger, and he flicks. The tape man goes flying and like gets pushed back. And uses tape onto Deku, and he goes flying, and he's about to hit him. Deku dodges it, and goes for a punch on his stomach. And then Deku jumps up and kicks him. He's like, wow, this is pretty good. And he goes flying, and the tape guy gets knocked out of the arena. He's like, oh man, I got out so easily, man. I'm so trash. Then it's the fight against Bakugo, because everyone fight because the goal is the same. It's Deku versus Bakugo. Bakugo's like, why don't you activate that quirk of yours? That quirk that gives you silver eyes and a blue aura. I want to see your true power. Not like anything would do you any good. Bakugo goes flying in with an explosion. He goes for a hit. Hitting Deku. Deku goes onto the ground. Deku gets up. As he sees another punch, he gets hit into the air and hit into the ground over and over. All the referees are like, okay, that's kind of brutal, but I'm just going to let it slide. Deku gets thrown around. He gets hit into the ground and he slides. Then Bakugo comes up and goes for a strike, but Deku dodges it, and he activates One for All on his hand, but he's able to control it. He's able to control it better and better, and every single time he uses it. So he uses a strike. He misses Bakugo. Bakugo goes for a smoke screen. But this time, I remember I skipped it, but just pretend like he already predicted this. He dodged it. He dodged the back attack, and he grabs Bakugo from the foot, and he throws him onto the ground. As the sound effects, Bakugo like bounces on the ground. He's like, "Oh, what is this?" As another smash with One for All like controlled hits him in the ground. A little crater appears. Bakugo gets up. He's like, "Oh, lose that easily." As he shoots a bunch of explosions, Deku, surprised, gets blasted by them. He flies onto the ground. And guess what happens? Nothing. Bakugo is still talking about, use your power. I told you to use your power. Why won't you use your power? Why? Why won't you do this? Deku wished he could use this power, but he can't on purpose. When all of a sudden, Bakugo is like, okay, you better activate it now, as he uses the twirly attack. I have really bad names for everything. He uses the twirly attack. He goes flying towards Deku. Deku just standing there. Gets hit. He goes flying into the wall. And it breaks. He's like, oh. Uraka was like, no. Bakugo was like yelling at Deku. He's like, hey, why didn't you use that power? Hey. As he falls asleep from the other girl that is, I don't know, that has that quirk that makes you fall asleep. Deku in second place. He's like, I wish I could use that power. I'm sorry, All Might. I didn't tell the world that I am here. I failed you. But then, all of a sudden, he feels a pat on his back. He looks behind him. He sees Tenya. He sees Todoroki. He sees Momo. He sees Tapeworm. He sees Tokiyami. He sees Uraka. And they're all behind him. He's like cheering him on. He's like, you did good. And he's like, really? Yay, thank you. I am happy now. And yeah. Okay, guys, that'll be the end of What If Deku could activate Ultra Instinct. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.